Well, greetings of peace, great people. This is Dr. LaDonna greeting you. I'm in Chicago today, and I'm super excited to begin our Global Cast series for 2024. And our first guest today is Justin Ngoga, coming all the way in from Kigali, Rwanda. Justin, you want to greet the people today?
Thank you so much, Dr. LaDonna, to have me here. I'm very, very, very excited, to have this conversation. And hello, everyone. You're welcome to
Yes.
this conversation.
Well, thank you for coming. You are somewhat of an answer to prayer because I'm back in the US after being 1 year in Rwanda and have received so many questions about people who want to come.
hmm
How is life there? And listen, Justin Ngoga actually is an author and he is the founder of Impact Roots. And can you tell us a little bit about what Impact Root is so the people know about what you do?
Thank you so much, LaDonna. So, Impact to Root is a company that provides relocation services, cultural orientation, and homestays and cultural immersion programs. And yeah, so we really strive to make life easier for expats here in Rwanda through our relocation buddy service and our cultural orientation, trainings. And we also do intercultural trainings, and so we work with organizations that have multicultural teams to help them understand their cultural differences and how they can leverage their differences. And with our homestays and cultural immersion programs, we work with people who want to immerse in Rwandan culture. So we welcome them in Rwandan homes. They eat Rwandan food. They learn Rwandan culture and language, and they share their cultures with their host, families. And the whole point of this is to really, promote global engagement, both on Rwandan, families and also the people that are being hosted. Yeah. So in brief, that's what we do. Yeah, and I'm happy to answer all the questions that you have about the services that I've
Yes,
mentioned.
that's excellent. So, promoting global engagement. And one of our assignments here with
Mhm.
Africa Excel and Ubuntu Global Village Institute is to build bridges across the waters. And that's why I was so excited to
Amazing.
meet you because that's essentially what
hmm
you do. Um,
hmm
I have done some research on you because I
hmm
know and been able to follow some of your interviews. Can you tell us a little bit about what's special about Rwanda? Because I have to tell you, every person that's been to Rwanda, they have a look of joy on their face when I say I've been to Rwanda.
hmm
If someone's thinking about journeying with us to Rwanda or relocating there, what is special about Rwanda?
Good. Thank you so much. That's a great, great question. Of course, number one is people. That's what I love talking about. It's people. Beyond scenery, greenery, beautiful mountains, gorillas, we have great, amazing people. Very hospitable. Friendly, hospitable, and forward thinking. Yeah. So it's the people. Number two is the leadership. We have got an amazing, leadership that
Yeah.
really, cares about people, and because of this leadership, we've got very good security system. So Rwanda is very, very safe, and it
Yeah.
ranks, I think, in the top five uh, safe countries in Africa, maybe on the globe. So very safe.
Yeah.
And speaking of the environment, we are very clean, country, no littering. So Kigali is a very clean. And of
Yeah.
course, as I said earlier, we have beautiful mountains
Yeah.
and volcanoes and our unique gorillas, and yeah, so a lot of things beautiful in Rwanda, lakes, yeah.
Yes, it's definitely I can attest. I've been posting my times in the mountains, in the
Hmm.
land of a thousand hills, and people, I'm not an outdoor person, but it's
Hmm.
such a beautiful landscape. The guests we had to come, I had my cousin come. She talked about how peaceful she felt, this sense of
Hmm.
peace from the moment she landed, and I had that as well. Yeah. So, so I
Hmm.
want to I know you're doing some amazing great things, but I wanted to, if you could tell us a little bit about the books that you've written and the resources that you have, because you are
Hmm.
definitely an eminent expert in intercultural engagement. Can you just share with the people a little bit?
Excellent. Yeah. um I have to go back to why I started this, and then I'll talk about my book. I
Thank
was
you.
working with within international organizations. I worked with several international organizations in different capacities. I was the head of training and development department with a big organization here that has 3,000 employees, and they had like more than 100 international staff. So my role also involved onboarding those international staff. I worked with the Peace Corps as a language and cross-cultural facilitator. I worked with the gap year programs, hosted students here. So with all that experience, I realized there was a big need for appropriate cultural orientation for international staff, because they didn't have any space to go and get cultural orientation and get cultural support to really deal with culture shock. So to
Yes.
start, I wrote my first book, The Rwanda Cultural Awareness, a guide to understanding
Wow.
Rwandan culture. It's a small,
Excellent.
concise, but very rich book that tells you about the cultural mannerisms and behaviors here in Rwanda, and gives you some general information about life here in Rwanda, and some phrases in Kenya, Rwanda. So I've sold more than 4,000 copies of this. It's becoming a very popular book. And
Yes.
my other book, you can find it on the website, my website, www.impactrootrwanda.com. Yes.
Yeah.
Under the book, section, it's called Moving to Rwanda Guide, a relocation guide to a smooth transition to life in Rwanda. So it gives you all the day-to-day life information, like for example, recreation facilities, and like the banks, and how to register a SIM card,
Yes.
internet, like really everything that you need to settle in Rwanda. So those are the two books that I've written. And then I have, of course, programs around those books. Like this, I do a 2 hour, cultural Rwanda cultural awareness and training
Yeah.
for the people who have just come to Rwanda, or even people who are thinking, and then we do arrival cultural awareness training, so that you come prepared.
Yes.
Mm. And then with the Moving to Rwanda guidebook, I also created the program that I mentioned earlier, which is the Relocation Buddy Service. And the Relocation Buddy Service is a service that actually, you know, um, helps people to have a smooth transition to life in Rwanda. So with
Mm.
that, we do pre-arrival consultation calls.
Mhm.
So like you have an idea like, oh, I want to move to Rwanda. but I don't have enough information about the country, and I want to plan my trip well. So we plan a consultation call, like
Excellent.
1 hour, and then we answer all the questions.
That's excellent.
Um, we also do pre-relocation visit tour. So
Okay.
you have all the information, but you're not decided. You want to come and then test and see if this is a good fit for you, if
Mm-hmm.
it fits you and your family. And then we organize pre-relocation visit tour, like a week or 2 weeks, depending on your itinerary. And then we help you like get a feel of the country, and then you can decide if you want to make this your home. And then if you decided, then we will work with you. When you come, we get you from the airport. We can help arrange, your accommodation, find a house or an apartment for you, help you get furniture, like and local furniture. Because what I've seen expatriates do here, they come and they go to this, imported, big, shops, one which are very expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes they don't have strong materials.
Right.
But we through us you can find local made, good quality furniture.
Okay, great.
And yeah, so we are with you all the way, bringing our language and the cultural insight to negotiate good deal for you. And
Yes.
here I have to mention, LaDonna, that most people, when they come, they use brokers. And what they don't understand is that a broker will, will get more money when you pay more. For example, you're looking for a house and you
Mm-hmm.
take a broker to help you find a house, then they will get a percentage of what you pay. So they're
Yeah,
not going to negotiate for you because they get more when you pay more.
I
So the
see.
good thing of using a relocation buddy is your buddy will be on your side. We'll have a fixed, rate, fixed
Yeah.
price, and then we will negotiate for you, you know, because you understand the language, the culture, and the market.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, that was a long answer to
No,
my
that's
two books,
great.
but property. So you're allowed to just buy one
Okay.
as your residency. Um, but if you want to buy two, then it has to be an investment,
Got it.
And to have that, you need to register a company, and then have an investment, certificate, and then you go into real estate investment, business.
Yes. Got
Yeah.
it.
Hmm.
So clearly, Justin and Goga, you are the go-to person for an impact route. I want to put your website here. We're going to prepare to close. I'm going to give you the last word, but I want to tell people again that they will be having the Relocation in Africa conference March 14th
Hmm.
and 15th. I want to encourage you to check out his website,
Hmm.
also at impactrwanda.com. And I want to also, this month that we're launching, we are announcing our Unveiling the Africa Exhale retreats. And you have opportunity to travel with us. Many people are saying, "Where are you going this year?" Rwanda is the main place we are going. I will also be in South Africa, and we'll be curating a few South Africa personal retreats, but we want you to join us for Africa Exhale Rwanda. We do have some spaces available for our May retreat, and you can also set up some dates after that. Justin, I hope you will join us as we orient
Sure. Yeah,
our
yeah, yeah.
Africa
Hmm.
Exhale folk. And we definitely want to have you back. There's so much we can talk about. I know that you have organized homestays in Rwanda and worked with
Mhm.
um, students who are coming to Rwanda. So I really wanted to highlight your work today. Is there anything before we close that you would like to say to the Global Cast audience, or anything that we may have missed today?
Um, can I quickly talk about the some of the topics that we'll be talking about in this upcoming conference?
Sure.
So quickly, we will do perspectives on relocation and global mobility into and within Africa. So what we'll be talking about here is understand the trends. Like who is relocating to Africa? What's the demography, and what are the drivers of relocation
Hmm.
in Africa, and what are the biggest destinations, so like we talk about trends and some figures and facts
Yes. About trends. Yeah.
like talking about the like it's kind of funny, but I would tell you, um, Rwandans are building houses. I'm using Rwanda just a case.
Mm-hmm.
And because we have big families, like I have eight siblings, we're nine, big family.
Yes.
So with that cultural, mindset, when people are building houses, they will build um, like houses with many rooms because you have big families. And the house they are building, they're expensive, and the market is for is actually expat, internationals, because they have money, then they can rent the
Mm-hmm.
houses.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a gap, and it's actually a cultural gap. So
Mm.
these people are using their cultural perspectives and build houses with many rooms. But the trend really of people who are relocating is either retirees, just a
Right.
single person, or maybe two, a couple, husband and wife. They don't
Mm-hmm.
need 5 rooms.
Yes.
And when one is built with 5 rooms, it ends up, you know, taking the space of a kitchen. And the
Mm.
kitchen is tiny because they have more rooms. So when, for example, Americans come, they'll be like, I like the house, but
It's big.
this kitchen, it's big, but the kitchen is small. I'd want to have my kitchen big. So it's actually cultural, gap. So we really
Yeah.
want to make sure that, real estate professionals here in Rwanda and developers, they understand the demography for which they're building houses for, you know?
Yeah.
So we will also be talking about moving home effects to Africa. So what are people moving? What are people shipping as home effects? Why are they shipping them? And what can you find locally? And then we talk about expert support. The how do we really do expert support, because research shows that up to 50% of expatriates fail, at least in developing countries. So when you have 100 people come, 50% will fail. And one of
Mm.
the reasons is lack of appropriate cultural orientation and cultural support system when
Mm.
they're here to deal with culture shock. So we really want to talk with organizations that are bringing international, people, and talk about how to do effective onboarding for their international staff. Not only workplace onboarding, but more like a comprehensive onboarding, program.
Yes.
And we'll also be talking about how to enter and grow business in Africa. How we also want to have a topic on expat banking. Like in Rwanda now, the trend is, I've seen banks talking about diaspora banking. So like
Hmm,
targeting Rwandans in the diaspora to bank in Rwanda. But
got
actually,
it.
they haven't started thinking about expat banking. How do
No.
you, yeah, how do you do expat banking? How do you do some, do you facilitate expatriates here to bank with you? And with that,
Yep.
we want to talk about transfers. We want to talk about the charges. We want to talk about ATMs, like how to even withdraw money, dollars from ATMs, because now you only withdraw local currency. So we want to talk about all those things. So it's going to be a beautiful conference, and it's just a beginning of a bigger thing, because it is going to come like every year.
Excellent. Well, we are looking forward to joining you. And also, I've
Thank
been
you.
sharing this with some of our friends. I actually had a potential visitor who wants to come. She wants to check out, can her business work in Rwanda? And so I definitely did refer her um, to check out your website, which is Impact Rwanda. ImpactRootRwanda.com. And listen, you've given us also your direct email. But as I
Sure, yeah.
remember, all of your details are on your website.
Yes, please. Yeah.
That is awesome. Wow. Well, in this show will air during our Black History Month in the US. And it's such an honor to meet with you. I think one of the best ways for people to celebrate Black history is to move outside of the US and
Hmm.
explore your relationship with Africa. What an amazing way to connect in, to plan your trip, or at least I noticed, Justin, too, your programs. You have some virtual programs that you offer, but
Mm-hmm.
yourself to go beyond the same thing we do every year and find an African country. And for us, it's Rwanda. And of course, we're still very connected in South Africa. But Justin, you were going to say something? Yes. Yes. Well, I want to thank you all. We're going to go back to Justin in a second, but I want to say that this has been brought to us by Africa Exhale Retreats, and we want to invite you to join us for retreat. This year, it's a global journey. It's a refresh experience where you'll be able to explore uh, Rwanda and all of the many the wonderfulness of Rwanda. You'll also be able to rest and refresh. And so I want to invite you to drop me a line at global team at revladonna.global if you're interested in joining us. You can also type Africa Exhale in the chat, in the comments. And if you have any questions, um, about this or anything else, you can post those in the comments or drop us an email. Well, this is Dr. LaDonna, and I certainly want to thank our guest, Justin Ngoga from Impact Root Rwanda. God bless you. God loves you. And we'll be back again for another edition of the Globalcast. See you again soon. And God bless you so much.